A stadium full of people is staring straight up. The air is cold and still. A streak of white cuts across the black, fast and impossibly bright, like someone scratched the sky with a burning match. You feel the crowd gasp before you hear it. Someone yells, "Look, a meteor!" Another whispers, "Is that a meteorite?" Nobody agrees. The sky doesn't care. Everyone has seen this moment. The wish on a shooting star, the news clip about a rock crashing through a roof, the dashcam fireball. We throw around the words all the time, meteor, meteorite, meteoroid, like they're interchangeable. But how the hell can the same rock have three different names? At what exact point does a space pebble become a sky streak and then something a museum locks behind glass? And if the definitions are so simple, why does almost everyone keep getting them wrong? Let's start with the obvious thing nobody notices. For most of human history, people just called all of this stones from the sky. If a streak flashed overhead, it was an omen. If a rock hit the ground, it was a gift from the gods. Even scientists didn't buy it. In the 1700s, respected scholars laughed at villagers who claimed rocks had fallen from the sky, until 1803, when a fireball over the town of L'Aigle in France showered thousands of stones across the countryside in broad daylight, and investigators finally had to admit, space is throwing stuff at us. From there, the terminology got sharper and also, oddly, easier to confuse. Think of it as one rock going through three different jobs. In space, drifting between planets, it's a meteoroid. The moment it hits our atmosphere and burns from friction, the glowing streak you see is the meteor, not the rock itself, but the trail of heated air and vaporized material. If a piece survives the fall and lands on the ground, that fragment becomes a meteorite. Today, when you see a shooting star, you're not watching a star. You're watching the brief middle stage of a much longer journey, the only part visible to your eyes. But here comes the part nobody sees. Above your head, this is constant. An estimated 25 million meteoroids enter Earth's atmosphere every single day. Most are dust-sized and burn up completely. Only a few hundred meteorites reach the ground per year worldwide, and most land in the middle of nowhere. It's like an invisible conveyor belt of space rock pouring into our atmosphere non-stop, almost entirely disappearing in flashes you never catch. The result? The sky quietly sorts it all. Most meteoroids become nothing but a streak and then dust. A stubborn few punch through as meteorites, rocks older than Earth's surface that you can hold in your hand. That constant rain adds up to thousands of tons of material per year, slowly sprinkling clues about how the solar system formed onto our planet's surface. That's like delivering the weight of dozens of fully loaded airliners annually, spread so thin you'd never notice. If you're finding this fascinating, hit that like button and subscribe to The Curious Mechanism for more hidden stories about the world around you. But you're probably thinking, what if a really big one shows up? Here's where the story gets interesting. Planetary defense teams run sky mapping surveys 24 hours a day, tracking thousands of objects on Earth-crossing orbits. Telescopes, radar, satellites, acting like a global nervous system, calculating paths, flagging threats, deciding when to sound an alarm and when to keep quietly watching. The rock isn't smart, but the network watching for it is. Now comes the invisible part, the real engineering. Our atmosphere is a multi-layer shield built by physics, not by us. Fast rocks compress the air so violently they start shedding layers, breaking apart, spreading energy across a wider area. Only the densest survive to become meteorites, and by the time they land, they're moving slower than you'd expect, cold to the touch, not hot, because they've been falling through freezing upper atmosphere for minutes. Meteors, meteoroids, and meteorites aren't just confusing space vocabulary. They're three names for one continuous process quietly connecting your backyard to the space between planets. So next time a streak cuts across the night sky, you'll know you're not watching a star. You're catching one brief, brilliant frame of a journey that started billions of miles away and might end as a rock in a museum drawer, pretending to be ordinary. If this changed the way you look at the night sky, subscribe to The Curious Mechanism and hit the like button. Share this with someone who has been calling everything a meteor their whole life. This is The Curious Mechanism, exploring the invisible systems that keep the world running.